Health officials in Gaza say Israeli forces opened fire near two food aid distribution sites on Saturday, killing at least 10 people. Israel's military says it is not aware of any shots fired by its forces. This comes in a week when President Trump pledged the United States will step up its role in delivering humanitarian aid to Gaza, describing the condition there as, quote, real starvation stuff. That posture from the president represents a rare break from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after nearly 2 years of war sparked by the horrifying Hamas terrorist attacks of October 7th. In our Sunday Focus, NBC News foreign correspondent Matt Bradley looks at life inside of Gaza today.
After nearly 5 months of siege, help is raining down over the skies of Gaza. On the ground, every grain of flour a matter of life and death. But some will have to face their families empty-handed. I will eat this sand, says Ibrahim. My heart is breaking. We used to be comfortable, dignified, and now my kids are starving to death. But in Gaza, staying alive can cost you your life. We had to go by the Israeli soldiers. They have no mercy, says 20-year-old Badr. We're exhausted. We just want to live. The United Nations says nearly 1,400 people have died waiting in line for food since May, most of them shot dead by Israeli soldiers. Israel's military said they fired warning shots to deter people who posed a threat.
Young teenagers are going to fetch food and are being shot at. They're being literally hunted down.
It's kids. It's children.
More than half, the UN says, were killed while waiting at aid distribution sites run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a controversial American and Israeli-backed organization the Israelis have delegated with distributing food since May. What do you see as their primary mistake here?
You have 2 million people desperate for food, and you establish 4 distribution points, only 4, and you tell people this is where you can come to get aid. Of course you're going to have crowd control problems.
On Friday, President Trump's special envoy to the Middle East visited one of the GHF's aid sites, along with U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee, as the Trump administration weighs involving itself further in distributing aid. Since last week, the Israelis have been allowing in more aid by air and trucks, but aid agencies say it's not nearly enough. The Israelis say they need to restrict food to keep Hamas from stealing and profiting from it. But aid agencies say there's no evidence of systemic, organized looting by Hamas. Still, Israel's government says they're doing their part. Well, as we're hearing growing anger around the world about the famine conditions inside Gaza, the Israelis have brought us just inside Gaza now, and they're showing us all of this food aid that they say aid agencies haven't been picking up and distributing it to the people who need it most. Aid agencies in the United Nations say they don't have enough security to distribute the aid. Security they say Israel, as the occupying power, is obligated to provide. Last week, Israel began pausing its guns for hours at a time to allow for distribution, even as it continues to deny that famine exists.
There is no policy of starvation in Gaza, and there is no starvation in Gaza.
But for American doctors on the ground in Gaza, the nightmare is all too real.
This is now a mass starvation, forced starvation, and a famine.
And Matt joins me now live from Tel Aviv as those conditions in Gaza continue to deteriorate. Matt, a group of major Western powers, allies of both Israel and the United States, made significant announcements this week.
Yeah, that's right, Willie. France said it would recognize a Palestinian state by September. Britain has followed suit, saying it would recognize a Palestinian state if the fighting in Gaza hasn't stopped by then. Canada also said it would recognize Palestine if the Palestinian Authority institutes political reforms. Now, meanwhile, Hamas said overnight that, quote, armed resistance won't stop until there is an independent Palestine, one that includes Jerusalem as its capital. And that's a tough one. That's one of the many major issues that Hamas has with Israel. Willie?
A debate that's been going on for generations. Matt Bradley in Tel Aviv this morning. Matt, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.